plate carriers, body armor, battle belts, and my first adventure into them. Recently, there was some legislation proposed to ban civilians from owning body armor. Now, plate carriers and body armor are something that I've been interested in getting myself from a survival standpoint of view for a long time, and I finally went ahead and did it because of that reason. I don't really think it's going to pass, but I figured, you know what, let's just get this done and over with. I want to send out a big thanks to LA Police Gear for getting me this stuff exactly the way I wanted it. It was quite a bit to learn. It's a pretty steep learning curve if you know nothing about it. And with all of my years in survival and shooting and prepping, I had no clue about body armor or plates or anything like that. So I'm going to give you a quick run off of what I've got here. I didn't spend a fortune, okay? I wanted something I could get quickly, easily, and rather affordably. And I didn't want to spend a fortune on this stuff. All right, so we started off with the Condor plate carrier. Now, I know some people immediately are going to hear Condor and go, oh, that's airsoft junk. Well, you know what? I've seen a lot of reviews on them from people using them in the real world. Saw Nut and Fancy's review on it, and when I received it, I realized this is a pretty decent piece of gear. I mean, if I was going to Afghanistan for a year or two, would I buy it? Probably not. But from my point of view, for what I'm using it for, you know, in a worst case scenario, when God forbid I'd actually need it to go out of my house, yeah, it'll work. It'll do what I want it to. The rest of the stuff I already had. All this stuff I already had. I'll give you a quick rundown on how I set it up. Now, the plates are from United Shield. They were also from LA Police Gear. They drop ship them, so they take a little bit longer. Plates fit in here. Let me tear this down and kind of show you here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to move this chair out of the way. Okay, so if you want to get your plates out, first thing I'm going to do is unbutton that, but I left it unbuttoned for the video. You're going to pull up this front, like that, okay? And you then unbutton it, and you reach under here and pull that out. And I hope that's showing up for the camera. Let me take a look at the viewfinder. It is, yes. Okay, in here is a little bit of a Velcro holder. You pull that out, and here are your plates. It's AR-500 steel plate right there. You'll notice it's curved this way. I spoke to a lot of guys who make these. It's also curved down to the side. And they suggested this is a more comfortable curvature, and also in a pinch could be used as a back plate. Instead of curving it this way, where if you fall backwards, these sides could really hurt you. Now, my back plate is flat. I'm not going to dig that out, but you get the idea what's going on here with this. So I'm going to stick this back in here, and I'll show you the rest of the thing. Now, one thing I did have to do was actually put it on and see where things were comfortable and where they weren't. So, now that that's all done, I can snap that back up. And amazingly enough, it's not as heavy as you would think. I mean, I live in the desert out here in Nevada on a 112-degree day. Yeah, this is going to be killer. But, you know, for putting it on and walking around in my house, loading it with mags and ammo, it is nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be, or as people told me it was going to be. All in all, I'm happy with the unit. It's very comfortable. That's one thing I got to say about this carrier is it's extremely comfortable. So, give you a quick rundown on how I set it up. I have one pistol magazine pouch up here. These are double magazines for ARs. This is just here because I had it. I don't know if I'd run more than 6 mags in the front. On the side here, which I'm going to move because this is too far back, I'm going to put it up here, is my first aid pouch. The only thing I haven't done is I want to probably take these out and put my tourniquet in there, and my EMT shears back here where there's a little spot for them. They're in here right now, and because I've been moving it around a lot, I left them where they are. On the back, we have hydration pouch, It has a nice little area to carry. I have like one MRE in there that I've broken down, some quick fire baby wipes, little basic stuff. This is your hydration bladder here. This is a really nice small unit. I think Lancer Tactical makes this. I got this at a gun show. Fits right in there. Pretty comfortable. And I didn't really want something huge hanging down way off my back because I'm going to have my dump pouch in this area and I didn't want it to interfere. Now that's a big thing. When you start looking into this stuff, try it on, you know. See where your hands naturally move. That's what I'm finding. Again, I'm a newbie. I'm a total newbie with this. If you guys know more about this, feel free to leave comments in this comment section. But the big thing for me was making sure everything felt comfortable. That I didn't feel like I was Michelin Man with my arms sticking out from the side and I couldn't reach mags, I couldn't reach a handgun. You'll notice there's no handgun mount on anywhere on this yet. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, as I knock over everything on my table. Over here is kind of a weapons maintenance pouch, and yes, this was originally OD green. I cheated. Got some lubrication, a bunch of spare AR parts, if you can see. I always suggest if you're going to carry an AR or any other weapon, carry spare parts for it that commonly break. Q-tips, cleaning. I have a couple of pull-throughs here for my pistol and my rifle. And you know those brushes you get in every cleaning kit you've ever gotten? Well, I found a solution for making it fit. Just cut the end off. Anyway, that's for rifle and handgun. For what I'd be carrying. Let me stick all the stuff back in here. And that's pretty much it on the vest. Now eventually I am probably going to add different mag pouches. As I said, these came off a vest I already had that was just a vest. They do hang on there nicely. And always remember, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I say this, look it up before you put your gear on your vest. Weave the stuff through the MOLLE straps. If you just stick it through and button it on the other end, it's going to be hanging off there like crazy. If you weave it, that's not going anywhere. I don't know if you can kind of see through the side here. Let me look in the viewfinder and make sure I'm getting you a good shot of that. I can't see now because I'm in the sun. But anyway, you weave it through. Like that. A lot of people do it the easy way and they wonder why everything's falling off their vest. So, I have a cheapy knife on here that I haven't even fully attached yet. We'll eventually get to putting that on there the right way. And I have a really cheap AutoZone flashlight. But I have plenty of good flashlights to put there. You know, I have a Phobos Tactical that I carry with me every day. I definitely have a better flashlight on there if the need arose. I just wanted to see how everything kind of looked put together. I'm going to move this now and get it on to the next section. Okay. The next section I want to discuss is where that pistol would be. And this is what they refer to as your first line gear. This is a battle belt. Okay. Right here, you've got a regular military pistol belt that is put through this belt. And this belt will come apart with more Velcro. Forgive me, like I said, I'm a newbie. Okay, and you weave it through there, and then you have a MOLLE platform to attach things to. So right now I just have two single magazine holders for an AR, two pistol mag holders. This has my tool in here. This is a very slim profile, no name. I got this years ago, and it works great for my gun stuff. Eventually I want to get a Leatherman mutt or some other kind of AR weapons related tool, but that'll work for now. My pistol holster, again, you can mount it there, and there's room for another magazine. And this isn't expensive gear. You know, this is just to get me started. I'm sure by the 4th or 5th iteration of this video I will have changed 98% of this gear out. Another first aid kit, because I may just be wearing this belt. You know, not everything requires me to throw on a suit of armor. If I hear something going on outside of my house late at night, you know, I have something like this that I can put on real quick as opposed to putting on a suit of armor, an armored vest, and the rest of the gear. We're not putting on a suit of armor. Unless I intend to ride my horse out there to save the fair maiden. This is another first aid kit. The only thing that's missing in here is a, I do have a, I need EMT shears. I know that because those have EMT shears in there, but I don't have them in here. and another quick slot. There we go, and another tourniquet. I do have a real cheap knockoff tourniquet that came in some first aid kit I got over the years. It would probably work, but eventually I want to get a cat tourniquet like I have in my other kit. Again, it just gives you some options, you know. If I'm in my backyard, say, during some kind of civil unrest or disaster or whatever, and there might be some lunatic with a gun nearby, this is easy to put on, you know. And I can work in this. I can work in my garden. I can work in my backyard. Putting on a whole plate carrier might be a little more difficult. It doesn't offer the protection, but it's something, you know. You have your extra magazines and whatever, and your rifle nearby. This is a cheapy Condor dump pouch. But let's face it, how much money do I need to spend on a dump pouch? I'm probably going to change out, I think it's not Maxpedition, there's another company. And again, I know nothing of the names of this stuff yet, I'm learning it all. It folds in half, so it folds open and then down. I'll probably be upgrading to that. Tough Gear, I think is the name of it actually, that makes it, at least it was in the store. So there you go, there's your battle belt and the vest, and that's my first start into it. I'll tell you that the Condor vest, I was really surprised because I expected it to be not as high quality as it is. I'm going to bring it back up here. But this is something you want to think about, you know. Some people will tell you, you know, you're never going to use that, you're crazy, what would you do that for? But you know, you look at situations like Katrina, where people were holed up in their homes with their rifles, you know, and people were shooting and looting everywhere because there was no law. Would that happen here? Who knows? You know, you look at situations where you may be stuck in the middle of a terror attack in your front yard or on your street. Not very likely, but always possible. So, gives you something to look at, gives you something to think about. The band is kind of what pushed me over the edge to say, you know what, I need to do this once and for all. And I did, and that's what I got. So there you go. A quick rundown. If anybody has any suggestions, I welcome suggestions. If I don't have something set up right on here, if somebody wants to tell me a better piece of gear, feel free to leave them in there. Like I said, I'm completely new to this. I'm learning as I go, you know. I can build AR-15s pretty much from scratch here, but I don't know much about tactical gear. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to click and subscribe. And feel free to leave comments, suggestions, whatever you want. Talk to you guys later.